So could you state your name and who you are and what you do?
My name is Tim Berners-Lee, and I'm the director of the World Wide Web Consortium, and I'm a professor at MIT.
And can you just tell people what you've created? Because I think most people know you for your invention.
So 20 years ago, I invented the World Wide Web.
Perfect. Now, one of the things we keep asking people is, what did you get inspired by as a child? What were the key toys that you used to play with, and what did you used to do to amuse yourself as a child?
Well, for toys, I played with trains. I had a train set.
Yep.
I used to go to school by train, so I got into trains. And then I found myself building electronics to control the trains,
Yep.
so that they'd stop at stations for a while and go on. And I built a train whistle.
Yep.
Things like that, and then I started getting more and more into electronics, and then into digital electronics.
Okay.
This was before microprocessors,
So computers weren't around.
Had this idea of building a little computer.
Yeah.
That wasn't really possible until I got to university. When I went to university, I spent 3 years doing physics, and when I arrived there, during those 3 years, I built a computer terminal, which is the sort of screen and keyboard piece of a computer. I got I built the keyboard by screwing together switches from all kinds of, so I got all these broken bits of equipment I found at the bottom of a dumpster. And I used an old telly for the screen.
Yep.
And so while I was at Oxford, then I made the terminal pieces of it, and then just at the end of just at that point, for the first time, it was you could buy a little chip, a little electronic component, which was actually the heart of the computer, so I could turn the thing to a computer.
Perfect. So when you were really young, most people think about being, I don't know, scientists or going off in a rocket or something as a child. What did you want to do when you were really young? Did you want to be a doctor, a dentist, or?
Oh, I think definitely scientist. So
a scientist. It was always a scientist.
Three of us. Nick, Christopher, and I we all did science. We wanted to we wanted to dig a hole bottom of the garden for an underground lab, and we were going to write a big book about science.
Brilliant. And did it happen? Did you write the big book about science?
I think we got we were sort of got as far as the table of contents.
Oh, that's a good start. That's a beginning.
And we did have the book.
Perfect. Have you still got it? No. And the final question, if you were trying to inspire a young person into the technology industry, science or engineering sector, what would you suggest they did, and how would you suggest they got involved in that?
Well, for computing particularly, I think the really important things to realise with a computer, that because what it does is completely what it's programmed to do. If you can think of another program, if you can think of your computer doing something else, anything you can think of it to do, you should be able to program it to do. So you should think of the computer as a challenge, and realise that it's not just like a refrigerator, a white thing you open, and it's got good stuff in it, but you can make it into whatever you like. So you could think about what program could you possibly imagine the computer doing? What application could you possibly imagine on the computer? And realise that if you start learning to program it, then you can actually, it's just a challenge to your imagination. You should be able to make the computer do pretty much anything you can imagine it doing. And that, I think, is different from anything else. In physics, you can't, you're stuck with what matter does.
Yeah.
Apples fall. Chemistry, you've got a certain set of elements. In computing, everything is up to your imagination.
Perfect. Thank you very much.